Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, throw open your windows and call out to your neighbors. It's
Crazy.
time for the weekly check-in. John Perrotta and Jessica Leigh, sponsored in part by A Million Little Things by Karen. Why? Because she made us some really cool coffee mugs. And now, boys and girls, let's get loud.
Yeah, she made these cool coffee mugs. They're really cool.
I want one.
I'll give everybody, whoever wants one, I'll give you one. I'm gonna get when the shows come back, then I'm gonna try to give them out at the shows or sell some. But you guys, anybody
pay
wants
people,
one,
Johnny.
I'll get one to you.
For hosting, you can pay $25 in a mug.
Yeah,
There you go, man.
Yeah.
There you go.
that's it. I got Jessica. Before we introduce everybody, it's the weekly check-in. She's our therapist for the night, therapist by day and comedy therapist at night. What's going on, Jessica? Everything all right?
Oh yeah, today blanking. It was a 4-day week, so that means 5 days of work crammed into 4 days. So tonight I can't facilitate this tonight. It's just gotta go off the rails.
You had a lot. So,
I'm thanking God that John and Katie are here and Bernie and they can facilitate.
so you put 5 days of patience into 4 days. Is that what you're doing?
Yes.
Wow. I'm surprised you made the show.
I know this, but I can't cancel this again, John. If I know that I can make it, because I have to save that for emergencies only.
So maybe tonight we're gonna give you therapy if you need it.
Yeah, my therapist appointment is next week, actually.
Yeah. So if you need any help tonight, John, everybody's here. We'll help you.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We got an esteemed panel. Of course, Mike Cronin, who started the show in North Providence, looks very dapper tonight. And Jessica Leigh, our co-host, and my man in New York City, very funny guy, worked with him many times, always loved working with him, Johnny O'Connor.
Johnny.
Johnny.
How you doing, buddy?
And we got his sister, Katie. And you're in New York too, right, Katie?
Yeah, I wish, but no, I'm back in Mass.
Oh, you're back in Massachusetts. All right.
Yeah, New York was a little busy for me, so I ended up coming back.
I've gone a few times. I lived there in the Navy for about 7 months in 1977.
Oh, no way.
77. It was nuts. It was like I had so much fun. I remember going off the ship for the first time. We go to New York City, have my sailor uniform on. We're walking, a bunch of sailors. These girls are walking by. Back then, you could do stuff like this. All I did, I see one girl, I grabbed her, hugged her, gave her a kiss, made out with her, and she walked away, and I walked the other way. That was the 70s. That was the 1970s in New York City. Anything, if you do that now, walk up to a girl and grab her and kiss her, you're going to be in jail.
That's a
In 77, you could do anything, man. Anything. It was crazy. New York City. I got more stories. And then we got my man in Somerset, Mass. So we're going to cover all over the globe. Bernie Perrotta, very funny comic. How you doing, Bernie? You're in the basement or the garage?
Oh, yeah. I'm still down in the basement. Yeah.
You're in the basement. You're in timeout.
Oh, yeah.
Basement with Burn.
It's a wonderful time.
Well, one of the best gigs I did last year, me and Bernie, July in Somerset, outside birthday party. It was about 106 degrees. I'll never forget. I got off stage. I don't sweat. My hair, my shirt, everything was like, that was crazy.
It was fun. The green room was your car. We sat in the car.
I actually went in my car in the driveway and put the air conditioner on. While Bernie was on stage, I couldn't take it. And that lady called me back. I told you she booked me for June of 2022 for her other son's graduation party. She booked me for like 2 years. She called me 2 years out. She said, I'm not going to do July. I'll do June. You know what I mean? So it's crazy. But Jessica Leigh, what's that, Bernie?
I said that was a tough one for me.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. Jessica, you in stable condition? You look like you've been through a crazy week, huh?
So I just had a call coming in and I don't know how to ignore the call because we're in the middle of this. So I was like, I'm like, there's only an answer button. I don't know how to use this phone. So it's just gotta go. It's just gotta go. I don't know how to use it. There's no other.
They'll leave you a message and about an hour you check it. God forbid the person will be all right.
Is that a work phone?
Nope. It's a personal phone that I just got, but nobody really nobody really like calls me, you know, it's mainly text messages and
Yeah.
Facebook and Instagram, you know, so it's like, oh, I got an incoming call that I'm not answering, but there's no option to not answer it. I don't know. It's like, but then the bubble's not popping up for like Facebook Messenger, so I'm not getting messages. I'm like, it's possessed. It's got a ghost. It's fine.
I get a ton of spam calls. I don't even answer me. What I do, if they don't leave me a message and it looks at spam or some wacky number, I put it right in by block them. And since I've done that, I blocked about 20 numbers. I'm not getting any spam calls. No,
That's
none,
good.
none of them. They just got to block the number. If they don't leave you a message,
Mhm.
you don't know who it is. It's just a bunch of these crazy companies.
I'm
you know
gonna
what I mean?
start doing that. I didn't know
Yeah.
that trick.
Yeah,
I
if you
got
keep
a call on my work phone about the extended warranty. I was like, nice try. Nice
I
try.
get those.
Yeah. That's what
I
they
got a
open
new
with.
phone that finally it has a feature on it now where it's if the person's not already in your phone with their name, it won't ring. Just doesn't answer it and gets
Oh,
I was like, why all the time? I'm like, why isn't that a feature? And then I got a new phone and they were like, yeah, we do that. It's
Mhm.
great.
what do you have? An iPhone or a Samsung?
Yeah, I got an iPhone.
I just got the iPhone 12. On top of me getting COVID, I had to get a new phone too. It broke. My phone broke. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it
Yeah.
stinks if somebody tries to call you like a delivery person or something and it won't ring, but
Hey, you guys will think I'm
it's
nuts.
good 99% of the time.
Hey, my son thought I was totally nuts a few years ago. He looked like you don't have one contact in your phone, Dad? Long story, but I've been through stuff with different women through the years, and I used to have numbers in my phone, and I got in a lot of trouble. So when you have a girl knock on the bathroom door and ask you why this number is in your phone,
oh
you no longer keep numbers in your phone. So what I did, I remember your number, or I Facebook you, or I got your number written down. I swear to God, I have not one contact on my phone. If I had a call, not one. That's it. People think I'm nuts. They say, how can you have no contacts? I remember the important people. I remember their numbers. My friends, I got them written down on my Facebook, and I get by, no problem. You guys think
You
I'm nuts?
remember a number? That's pretty good.
I'm
I
good.
know.
I'm good at remembering numbers. I remember your number in my head, Bernie. I remember Cronin's number. Jessica, I don't call, so really that much. So, but if I call you after a few times, I'm like Rain Man. It registers, and that's it. And I can call you on it. So I'm nuts, Johnny, right?
Got that right, buddy.
Hey, when you get a girl knocking on the bathroom door and you're getting ready for work, you're holding up your phone, bringing in the
Johnny,
coffee.
what's it like to live in a world where there's more than one woman in your life?
Hey, I'm good now.
I have
Now
no
I'm
idea
nice and
what that is like.
peaceful. I'm nice and peaceful. I chilled out. I'm gonna be
That idea-
63 next month. I'm nice and chilled out. I'm down to 5 girls, and I'll be fine. I'll be fine. No, I'm really chilled out, Johnny. Johnny knew me when I was whacked back in the day.
Oh, I remember. I remember one day. I just remember one day we were at a show that, like, I don't want to say who booked it because it was a big bust. It wasn't you. We both got booked on the show by somebody else.
Yeah.
And we got there and we were supposed to have this huge show, packed, sold out, like whatever. And there was like 25 people in this giant room. And before the show, we're all just kind of sitting there. There's like 8 people spread out. I'm like, oh, this is going to be brutal. And I heard you on the phone, like the next table over.
What was I saying?
You were just talking to you were talking to a woman and you were just like, I gave you, I don't know how much money it was. I'm going to say $1,000. I gave you $1,200. I gave you $1,200. And you, and then I just like, I like looked up and you were like, and like she hung up on me.
Oh, I had a lot of, very, my relationships very good through the years. Every one of them ended. They all started like a Sound of Music with Julie Andrews, running through the hills, singing. And when they ended, it was like Fast and Furious. It was like everybody was speeding off. It was like,
There were eight of them.
it was crazy. I was the original Fast and Furious before they even started making the movies. Girls were speeding off. Did you ever have to hide in the closet, Johnny?
Oh,
I had to hide in the closet. When my mother was alive, this girl was stalking me. She came in the house talking to my mother. I said, I'm not here, Ma. I went in my bedroom closet. I was like 18. an hour in the closet. My mother's having to make a coffee for her. She finally left. I said, Mom, I'm in the closet. You know I'm in the closet. Why are you making coffee and giving her pizza? Are you out of your mind? You're crazy, Katie.
Trying to break it to her easy, Johnny. Trying to break it to her easy.
Corona knows we got a lot of stuff that me and Mike we can't even talk about through the years.
All too well. All too well.
There's no stories we can tell, Mike. Huh? There's
No,
not
we
many.
can't. We cannot tell. And I wish that we could, because they're good. They're funny stories, man. They are super funny stories, but
Early 90s.
they got to stay in the vault.
Yeah, we used to do stand-up.
Or you just have like a special edition show where you're just talking
Yeah.
about.
Just do it on
Oh,
Patreon, Johnny. Do it on
experience.
Patreon. Make people pay for it.
Yes.
I wonder if we could tell the Bond View story. That's kind of tame. No, you don't want to go there?
That's a little. You think that's a little bit much, Mike?
Well, it it was really, really funny. But if you don't want to go there, then we won't go there. Maybe we can tell that one in the green room after the show.
Right.
Okay. I'm here for it.
I'll think about it.
Now,
Jessica?
Katie, I want to go to Katie. Katie's rocking a couple of different things here. I noticed that her and I both were being fashionably conscious, and we color coordinated our drinks to what we're wearing. But now Katie is.
I
picking up-
know. I didn't. You know. Yeah, I did. I planned this. I planned this.
But-
I
but-
knew you were doing this.
But the boys and girls at home want to know, what the heck is that gigantic thing you just lifted up?
Oh, so, this is matcha. A matcha latte
Yes.
A matcha
Here's the
latte.
bubbly.
Matcha
Oh my
latte.
God. Yes.
with cinnamon.
Yes.
Wow,
Matcha
that
and
thing is
bubbly.
gigantic. I thought maybe you gave like Porter a bath in that.
No, these mugs are actually from my grandfather's house. My cousin just sent them to me when in like a little care package.
Very
when she
cool.
found out. Yeah, so I
looks
love
like
them.
it looks like a nice cup of chili. That's what it looks like from here.
Chili. Oh
That's
god.
what it
It's
looks like to
gigantic.
me.
It's the size of her head.
No, it's so good. I make it with oat milk.
I never had that.
milk.
believe it or
Maca
not.
latte. What does that mean?
A matcha latte. Matcha is like the purest form of oh sorry, I have like a fuzz in my face. Matcha is like the purest form of green tea. So it's like a powder, and you have to whisk it with like water, and then you put your oat milk, and I usually do a little bit of raw organic maple syrup.
Wow.
That sounds like
They're
a lot of
all
work.
excited. They're like, I need to try
I got a Powerade.
this.
You got to whisk it. So you're literally standing there like Julia Childs with a whisker going around, like
yes.
whisking.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
They actually
interesting.
have a specific whisk I haven't gotten for it, but it's like made out of bamboo.
Yep. Now I have a bone to pick with Katie too. And
No,
Jessica,
am I in trouble?
because I reach out to both of them and they just blow me off big time.
No, when,
So I find out that Porter is not feeling well through John, and I express my concern. I reach out to Katie, and 6 months later she says to me, "Oh yeah, Porter's doing pretty good."
6 months later. You know what's so weird though? And I'm sorry, I apologize for that. But somebody recently brought up to me that maybe my dog had COVID because we never found out what was wrong with him. And he
Wow.
had it just before I don't know, that we got it. So I don't know if that's a thing, if dogs can even get it, but he's doing okay now. He finished his medication and he seems to be great.
You gotta have him with his mask on, Katie. I don't know why you guys don't mask up that dog.
John.
That is
know.
awesome. That is awesome. And then I've
Ask
reached
the
out to
dog.
Jessica Leigh several times. I've called Jessica because that's
Oh,
my new
no.
thing now. I like to call on the Facebook Messenger. I've called your brother John on and he picks right up. Love that. I've called Jessica Leigh countless times and she just ignores me. Ignores me. And then
Oh,
I go to bed.
no.
Then Grampy Bed goes to bed. I'm all round shouldered. Oh well, I guess no one wants to talk to me tonight.
I think you
Yes.
called me at like midnight and I've been like in bed.
I call everybody at midnight. I'm up. I'm talking on the phone. You know who's a good person to talk to? Steve DiNuccio. Politically, we've got nothing in common. I love the man. We talked for like 2 hours.
He called me one night at midnight. I was sleeping on the couch. I fell asleep watching TV. I answered the phone. Who the hell's calling me at midnight? This guy asking me some crazy, whatever the hell he asked me. I said, what are you out of your mind? I'm sleeping. It's midnight. Crazy.
Because I had people that talk at those hours.
Well, what you gotta do is make a list. Midnight. Who's on the list? Johnny. If Johnny's up at midnight, Bernie, call them up. If Katie and Jessica, me on the list, then
I
don't
was
call
just
those
gonna
people.
say, hey, yeah, if I know we're talking at midnight, I'll make sure we're gonna talk at midnight.
Now,
I'll
if you
make
call
one of those
Katie,
mochalacha things so I'm wide awake.
if you call Katie at midnight and her boyfriend's sleeping, he comes in the living room. Who are you talking to at midnight?
Oh my
What
God!
is she gonna say? You're
She
gonna get
says
her in
it's-
trouble.
She says it's Grampy Mike. I'm talking to Grampy Mike.
You're gonna get her in trouble talking to a
You know,
guy at
after
midnight.
11 o'clock, I know that might be bad hit, Mike.
Yeah, that's
I talked to Karina for a long time late at night. I talked to her and Big Daddy.
Jessica.
Who's Big Daddy?
Big Daddy's her
Yes,
husband. That's it.
Oh,
She's called him Big Daddy since they started dating, and Big Daddy is his nickname for when he was a kid. So I told her I have to become friends, best friends, so I can call him Big Daddy too. I love that name, Big Daddy. Big Daddy.
Jessica, we got to do an intervention. When you're up to it next week, you'll be a little slower.
Well,
We got to talk, me, you, or Mike in Zoom and have a session. We got to have an intervention with this guy.
I think so. But could you imagine, like, if you got a call from Mike at midnight and, like, your boyfriend came in and was like, who are you talking to? And then it's Mike. And you put him on the
Mike Crone. Who the frig is Mike Crone? I'll break his head. I'll
no,
smash him.
he probably would say that. He probably
Be
would
like
say
that commercial. She'd be like, well, he sounds hideous.
Yes, he says that to me all the time. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would
I-
not want to be on the phone at like 5 past midnight. Like, no, I'm sorry, Big Daddy. I'm sorry, Big Daddy. No, it's terrifying.
Hey,
Oh my God.
me and Mike, one story. You don't have to get into the whole story, Mike. But one, Mike got me really mad one night. And the next day I called, just tell him what I said I was going to do. I was mad at him. What was I going to do, Mike?
Well, there were females involved. There were two of them.
Yes, of course.
And-
but we can't
and,
get into the whole thing.
John gets wind of this after I had done the noble thing, and he tells me that he's going to drive his car through my house.
But I do that, Katie. I'm a nice guy.
I wouldn't mess with you.
So
And
then I
got a
had to
temper.
talk him down, and he still stayed mad. So he hangs up with me, and like 2 days later, I get the call. Bad boy, brother, I'm sorry. You know how I get, bad boy. I'm crazy. I'm sick. I'm like, yeah, I know you are. That's why, like, I went to like Hotel 6 for the last couple of nights.
I would never, Jess, you know me. I would never drive a car through his living room. You know that.
No, you're just gonna, what is it? You're just gonna take a dump in his driveway. That's what
Yeah.
you're gonna do. That was you guys, right? That you guys were on that chat where he was kept saying that he was gonna take a dump.
I
I
was.
don't
I
remember.
think that was you.
I honestly
Tom
don't
was on
remember
that.
that.
I don't
story.
remember the dump story. I don't know.
No,
Are you serious? It was
I'm
the
sorry.
whole
I
thing.
know.
What was this? Me
I
and
think-
Mike?
I think John O'Connor was there for that story. I think it was like the last time that we were on, and you were talking about falling in the driveway, but you kept
Oh,
saying,
yeah. I took a, on
Oh,
the ice. On
you
the
said,
ice.
yeah, you were saying you were trying to use the more common vernacular, take a spill. But instead, you kept referring to falling as taking a dump.
Yes.
So you were
yes.
saying like, "Oh, I'm going to take a dump in the driveway." We were like, "Don't take a dump in the driveway, man. That's bad."
Oh my God.
Yeah,
You
Johnny, I
threw me
took
off,
a dump
Jess.
in the driveway today.
No, I fell and almost, right. I put my hand almost, I would have smashed all my teeth though on the ice. I went, when you got a 300-pound Italian going down, the neighborhood shakes. People are looking out the window. What happened, Johnny?
Well, I'm glad it didn't happen, buddy. I'm glad it didn't happen.
I know.
That would have been bad.
Bernie, what are you? I would never drive through Bernie's house. I love Bernie. What's going on, Bernie?
A short drive.
Bernie, well,
See,
he wouldn't
Bernie
even
would
get
be
mad.
safe
Bernie's
where
a
he is
good
right
guy.
there. He'd be safe. See, look at that. He's got like all those big metal poles up. So he would have a good line of defense if you were to drive your car. Matter of fact, I'd like to see that attempted. I don't think you get the bumper in that. That's a fortress over there.
But I'm below ground, so if he drove through the house, I would just think I'd just be
Yeah.
yelling upstairs. Or keep
If
it
anything,
down
you'd
up
have
there.
you have to hit a big ramp and come in at an angle.
That's
Try to
right,
dive
John.
down
That's
there.
right. That's right. Yeah, I think Bernie would be safe.
Yeah, I don't know.
You
This
guys-
house, you probably give it a good stiff wind, you might knock it down.
You guys ever get in a fight with over a girl, Mike, Johnny, Bernie? You ever get in a fight, or even Jess and Katie over a guy? Did you guys ever get in altercations? Have that ever happened?
Not like a fist fight.
Well, I got the head.
I got beat up over a girl. This is a great story, man. This is a great
Tell me
story.
about it.
I am in high school, and I'm not going to mention the names because they are all friends with me on Facebook. So I'm dating this girl. I'm a kid. I'm like 15 years old, and I've dated this girl like from when she was like 13. So now we go to high school, and we're broken up. So now she's dating this other guy, and he has a twin brother. So she would still like see me from time to time, and I'm walking down the hallway with one of my friends who is definitely a person who can handle himself, and the kid pushes me. So I don't do anything. I mean, I'm like 5'7" in high school, maybe 140 pounds, soaking wet. What am I can't fight my way out of a wet paper bag. So my friend's not having this. Now he's got his girlfriend with him, so he wants me to do something about it. So now we walk to the front of the school, and he's like, hit him. I'm like, I'm not hitting him. So the guy says, well, if you think you're so tough, why don't you hit him? So my friend goes like this. Nah, I hit you. I'm not going to hit you. I got my girl with me. So he turns around like he's going to leave, walk back into the front doors of Warwick High School. He spins around. Now, this is back when platform shoes like Sly Stallone and the Family Stone were wearing. They're like this big. He comes like out of these shoes with a haymaker, drops this kid. Now he's resting on the ground against those big yellow arches that come down to make up the big McDonald's arch thing in front of the school. And he goes, hit you, I'm going to kill you. So he starts kicking him. He's Italian, by the way. He starts kicking him. All of a sudden, this kid's head explodes. There's blood everywhere.
Jesus.
Wait, Mike, this was the kid that shoved you?
Yeah, the kid that shoved me now
Is
had his
bleeding
head
everywhere?
blown up. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. My friend just tuned him up like he was playing a piano.
That's out of control. I don't go that far.
So now the next day in school, I'm so scared. I wear a cup to school, an actual cup. I'm telling you, man, I wear a cup. I know I gotta go. I can't not go. If I go, I'm ruining the rest of my life. So I go, and I remember in English class, my friend, I'll use her nickname, Queenie, who I'm friends with to this day. She looks at me and she goes, I feel so bad for you. I'm like, gee, thanks a lot. So the end of school comes. I walk out that lonely corridor by Warwick Vets. I'm like the lone guy. Where's my pack? I've got no pack with me. I walk out there. This kid's there. His face is all bandaged up like a mummy, and his twin brother is there. So his twin brother gets out with me. I think I got like one shot in. I got pummeled by everybody. So now, fast forward years and years later, I'm doing stand up at the height of the Bad Boy of Comedy days. My hair's about as long as Katie. Claudia calls me up and says, I got a gig for you, bachelor party. So she gives me the guy's name. I'm like, oh, from Warwick? She said, yeah. I said, you might want to run that by. I said, who's the best man? She gives me the brother's name. I'm like, oh man, this is
I wouldn't have took the gig.
So I said, run it by them. So she says, Mike,
I tell them, forget it.
they'd love to have you. So I go, me and California George, we go to the show, Johnny P. They've got like 75 to 100 people there.
You're
now,
going to a bloodbath, maybe.
No, they were so cool. So here's what happened. This kid that pushed me and my friend exploded his head out. He's bald like a bowling ball. So here's what I do. I recount that entire story for everybody there. I leave nothing out. And then I say to them, but all these years later, revenge is mine. I walk up to this kid. I almost said his name. I took my hair and I draped it over his bald head. And I said, quick imitation of so-and-so, looking like David Lee Roth. The place blew up laughing. We had a great time. So yes, I have been beaten up over a girl. Another time, story around comedy. I meet this girl, very attractive young lady. So we talk a bit on the phone for hours. So after a show, I go back to her house. All of a sudden in the morning, I'm feeling, wake up. I'm like, what do you mean wake up? Why aren't we sleeping in? My ex-husband's outside. Whoa. Where did he come from? How come I was not told about this on the manual before I entered into the gate last night? This should have been told to me. So then she says, well, I didn't think he'd be this way, but he's a little bit crazy. And I look out the window. Now I see cruises coming up. North Providence cruises coming up. Then I hear this. Suspect has a loaded weapon. I'm like, he's got a gun? He's got a gun with him? So now she says, go and hide. God. Go and hide. So I said, where am I going to hide? So she opens up this door. I go down a staircase like on a theater set. It leads to nowhere. It's a staircase to a wall. So now I'm stuck while this guy's out front. Turns out he has a relative in the police department that went up there and calmed him down, and all the cars went away. And I was like, well, I had a lovely time last night, but I think this is about, I think we've gone as far as we can with this venture.
That's crazy.
And
When I was in ninth grade, Mike, this girl was going on with this girl, Kathy, going on with this really tough kid, this toughest kid in the school, junior high. He was a tough kid. So she broke up with him and wanted to go out with me. So I'm John the dummy, right? I start going out with her. So we're walking down Laurel Hill Ave at Cranston. We get to the corner. All of a sudden, the cop pulls up and 5 guys get out. And he's one of them. And he supervises while the other 4 guys beat the hell out of me. So I'm on the corner. No. I'm on the ground. They're pounding me. And I was like, man, bad move getting involved with this girl. And another time, I was outside a club. I don't mention the place. I was outside a club. This girl I was back and forth with, and she was back and forth with another guy. I pull up. He's kneeling down outside her car talking to her. So I pull my car over. What are you doing talking to her? Me and him getting a beef. We're outside this club at 1 a.m. Across the street against a fence. He's got me in a headlock because I can't fight Johnny. I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover, Johnny. I'm not a fighter. I just want to love. I don't want to fight. So all of a sudden, this guy's got me in a headlock. And then I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. You're a correctional officer at a prison. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. You've had a few. You're out here in a headlock. This is not good. You got to get out of the headlock, get out of here before the cops come. Because now if the cops come, they're going to say, correctional officer Ryan arrested, fighting outside of the club. Mm-hmm. I got to be careful with that job. So I got to get out of here. I'm trying to get out of the headlock. I said, look, I'm going. He finally lets me out of the headlock. And I get in my car. People are all shouting. They wanted us to fight. I got in the car and took off, man. You never had nothing like that, Johnny?
I've got one more story, and the names are going to be omitted because, again, they're all friends with me on Facebook. I'm like probably 16, 17. I'm dating this girl. We go up to the club in Massachusetts where the Rolling Stones played. So we're at that club. It's packed. We engage in Congress, little extracurricular activity. All of a sudden, she goes sideways. This girl goes from happy, joy to like ballistic. She takes all of her clothes off, which mostly all of them were off already. And now she sits out on the steps of a house. I'm pleading with her to get dressed and get back into the car. So now I finally do that. She goes into the club. Now she's flirting with this guy. She's dancing with this guy and rubbing up. I mean, she was twerking before we knew what twerking was. So now this guy is a good looking guy. He's like Italian, Portuguese, Armenian. He's all, he's like a melting pot of European handsomeness. So I remember a friend of mine told me, if you want to drop somebody, get a rock that fits into your hand, squeeze it really tight, and just let them have it. So I say to myself with a few Budweisers, I'm going to drop this guy like a bad bag of potatoes. So I go out in the parking lot. I find a rock that matches my hand perfectly. So I'm literally out there like I'm breaking in a catcher's mitt. I'm like, yeah, this will. So I go in and they're still dancing away and whatnot. So I tap the guy on the shoulder. I did a little boxing in my day. I come flying with this hook. This guy was like Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee blended into one. He goes like this, grabs my wrist in midair, right here, squeezes it. I mean, complete emasculation, squeezes it so hard that my hand opened up and the rock fell to the ground.
You were screwed.
Thank you, Jesus. He was a nice guy. He looked at me. He's like, you obviously have some things to work out with your girlfriend, and I would suggest that you do that. You both have a good night. And he walked away.
Wow.
Wow, you're lucky.
Dude, Katie, I was so lucky. I came in with this shot, man, like Vinny Paz. I throw it just right. Boom, he catches it. And then he just went, not only did I catch it, so you're not that fast, but now I'm going to embarrass you in front of this packed club by squeezing your wrist to the point where you lose all strength in your hands and the rock falls to the ground.
Oh my God.
Mike, you better just stay in your condo there and just relax.
I know. And I blame all this on my dad because when I was a little boy, my friend was bullying me in the neighborhood. About 7 years old. He wants to beat me up. I call home to have my mom come get me, not my dad. She sends my dad. I'm like, no, don't send dad. Sends my dad. We throw the bike into the back of the car. We're riding down Brendot Avenue. The kid's right behind us on his bike. I can hear like the theme to the Wicked Witch. We pull up the stop sign. The windows are down. It's summertime. My dad looks at me and goes, what's up? Kid says to my dad, I want to beat up Mike. What's my dad say? Get out of the car. I'm like, wait, what? Get out of the car? Get out of the car. This kid pummeled me, beat me into dust. We go home. My mom wanted to beat up my dad. She was so mad, but my dad was right. My dad said he'll never pick on you again. We became the best of friends. So, from 7 years old, I'm thinking, maybe I can handle myself. No. When you're a little Irishman, you can't handle yourself.
I think it's better to just drive the car right through your house.
There you go, John. John's
I get a
onto
beat for you.
something.
I'm just driving right through the front
That's
door.
right. That's what I should have done. Give me your address right now.
Anybody else?
I'm coming hard.
I knew you were
Growing
going to lose
up?
I knew you were going to lose the club fight, Mike, when you told us you were going to drop him like a bad sack of potatoes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you, and I have not exaggerated one point of any of those stories. That I was so embarrassed at that.
Jessica, we have to have an intervention
squeeze
next
my
week.
hand.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I know I've dominated
got a
the
lot
time.
of this.
I feel bad now. I've shared too much of my life.
You're doing just fine, mate. Anybody else
Yep.
have anything like that? No beefs, huh? Nobody, huh? Only me and
No.
Mike.
I think I just knew, like, oh, that girl's boyfriend is a lunatic or ex-boyfriend is a lunatic. I can't fight that guy. I'll just stay over here.
It's good if now today at 62, naturally, Grampy Mike has all those sensibilities, the voice of reason and all this. But back then, man, I wish I had it. And it was always geared around, well, not the kid when I was a kid. Go ahead, John. Going to John O'Connor. He's giving us the wait a minute sign.
Oh.
I think John's going to use the restroom. That's what he's going to do.
Vern,
Oh,
you never had
like-
anything crazy happen like that? You just got married and everything's been fine ever since?
With women? Nah.
No beefs, huh? You guys, the
Not
Italian.
with women. I was always like, oh, you want her? Oh, you can have her. I'm gonna go do something else.
Yeah.
Never met any of them that were worth fighting over.
Yeah.
What I want to know from Jessica and Katie is how many guys have fought over you girls? How many guys have I will defend your honor?
So I will say that, it's like you know, people think it's like a dream to have like guys like fist fighting over you, but when it actually happens in real life, it's a whole lot of not funny.
Yeah.
Like it's like really not funny.
Yeah.
Especially with how bad it can escalate. And I've always hung around with a rougher crowd, and you know, and it can definitely has gotten a little out of control. But yeah, there's been a few. I've counted up to 4 in my brain. So
Wow.
but just give me a little bit more time. There might possibly be more. But
Yeah.
a lot of drama on this side of the chat.
Yeah, I've had no drama. My life's been pretty calm. You know, Katie doesn't even know the half of it. Katie, have you ever had any guys fighting over you?
I've had about 3, but not that they're not like fighting. It was more of like a protective thing. It wasn't like they were fighting each other for me, you know.
Yeah.
Luckily, I've been lucky.
I've had a few guys fight over me,
Yes.
but it never.
Well, naturally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you have.
I was like, guys, there's plenty of me to go around.
Yeah,
No,
stop. You can share me.
Yeah.
It's fine. Don't fight.
John's a handsome man. He's got the mustache twirled up on the end there. He's rocking the guitar in the back. I mean, John looks like he's coming to us from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I know.
Johnny looks good. He looks like a star, Johnny, with the bow with the
Thank you.
tie and no bow tie tonight.
Yeah, I actually, I was gonna put on a bow tie, but you know, I have with COVID, I haven't done the past few weeks, man. I haven't done anything, nothing, and I've been trying to. I wanted to like get back to exercise and you know and stuff. And tonight when I was getting ready, I tried putting on some shirts I hadn't put on in a while, and I was like, nope, not this one. Nope, not this one. So that kind of limited my options, and then I was running out of time, and I went with this. I think it worked all right.
You look great, Johnny. You look great.
Thank
So the COVID, you guys had the COVID. It's thank God you guys were coming out of it. All right.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, got really lucky.
Yeah.
It's not fun. It's not.
I've got more friends I know in the last couple of months that have gotten it than before. I didn't know anybody for the longest time, and all of a sudden, the last 2 months, more and more people that I know are getting it. It's like getting scary. It's scary. It's
Worse
scary
now
stuff.
than it's ever been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now there's like 4 strains of it too, 4 mutations or something.
Yeah.
So they have 4 versions of the virus.
They got to ramp up this vaccine, man. Get it all. We got to all get this vaccine as soon as we can, you know, because definitely, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where else are we going now, guys?
I want to know about the guitar on John's wall. I want to know what the story is behind that.
That is a guitar I got for Christmas. It's an electric Fender Telecaster.
Dude.
I'm not like a big I'm not like a good guitar player by any means, and I haven't played for a while. Actually, I wanted to get back into it this year. I've
He's
got like
good. Don't let him fool you.
All right. But I haven't picked up a guitar in I don't know how many months. It's been like 6 months.
Did you ever do on your stage play the guitar on stage?
Yeah. I used to do it
Because I
sometimes.
seen you play the guitar
stand-up.
on stage. Yeah.
Yeah.
In
It
your
was
act.
it was so funny because I was just trying to, you know, like add something to the show, right? Just a little more like, I don't know, entertainment on top of the comedy, right? Hopefully. But it was so funny to me how when you start playing the guitar, it's like you didn't have to win the crowd over. It was just like, bring, you play 2 chords and everybody's like, what's this guy going to do? It was weird. It was like such a cheap and easy mechanism to just get the people to pay attention.
Yeah.
That's part of why I did it.
Yes.
I
You're
always said
smart.
anybody that can add to their act, like musical, like guitar, or if you do impersonations, like I wish I could do these different things that a lot of these act guys can do, like Ace and Cedar with the impersonations, Rock and Joe with the guitar. You can add so much to your act that, you know, I got nothing. All I can say is where you're from. Bust them up. I got nothing. I got no guitar. I can't do Joe
Can't dance or
Pesci.
anything. No.
I got nothing, Bernie. I got nothing. I can't play a tambourine. I got nothing.
I think you could play a tambourine.
Think I can play a tambourine, Jess? I don't know.
You get that. Why don't you get them little bells on your fingers?
It's a triangle. You can start
One
with,
of them
you can
things.
start with a triangle. If
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Work your way up to a square. There you
Yes.
go.
Maybe we should come up with a theme song for this, Jess.
Yes.
Johnny can play the guitar and
Yes.
we can come up with something. I don't know what.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yes.
You mentioned Ace Aceto, and when we talked on his podcast, he was like, you should do like an album almost like the Wiggles and have songs like Mental Health is Fun. So I think like Mental Health is Fun would be appropriate for here. So maybe we can do that. And I can't sing, so please don't have me do that.
Can't sing.
No.
I did karaoke once. I sang a Jay Giles song. It was awful. I mean, I could get up before in front of 200-300 people and do my act for a half hour, 40 minutes. You put me in karaoke, I can't sing. I'm paranoid as hell. I did it finally once, and it was god awful. It was god awful.
I think didn't
No.
Brian Bowden do some kind of karaoke with one of his sets, and he sang like Purple Rain or something?
Oh
Yes,
that was,
and
And
that
it
was
was
a while ago,
wicked
yeah.
funny.
He sings Purple Rain. And
Yes.
I had him, I booked Brian quite a few times, and he kept that from me. And before I wrapped up Meatball Comedy Stop, I called him. I'm like, dude, I can't believe you sing Purple Rain and you didn't bust that out at one of my shows. Next time you gotta do that. And then Meatball Comedy Stop went away.
You should see him do Biggie.
Yeah.
One night on Hardcore, he had them play Notorious B.I.G. Give Me the Loot. And Brian sang it hard. He was great.
Wow,
I'm not kidding. It was really good.
crazy.
He's so funny.
The whole crowd was like, yeah, like roaring for him. It was really good.
Yeah, because it gets them singing with you.
Mhm.
Kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
your whole thing about the guitar.
Get everybody.
When I
get
had
everybody going.
Brian, I had Brian down at the Carousel Grill. We're packed. I actually had to turn away about probably 5-7 people in that neighborhood. One was a family, and they had little kids with them. And I'm like, this is not the guy that you want to see at all. I appreciate you coming out, but this is not the crash course you want for your kids. They were like 9 and 10. What are they thinking? So as we're getting ready to go, I mean, this room was so packed, we turned the people away. So now I'm making my way around, making sure
Good
everybody's
old days.
paid, showing their ticket stubs and whatnot. So as I get close to the stage, John remembers the Carousel Grill. It was a nice club, but it got tight when you filled it up. So I told the people, I'm like, man, you got to clear away here because our headliner is not going to fit through this. And the guy, they give me a hard time. I'm like, trust me on this. Just let me move these tables. You're going to be fine. I'll get you a round of drinks. So they do that for me. And when it comes time for the headliner for Brian, I bring him up, and I always give the headliner a hug, all the acts a hug. So as I'm coming down the stairs, I hear the guy that was giving me a hard time about, gonna move. What do you mean the guy can't fit through? I hear the guy say to his friends, wow, he wasn't kidding. Brian was like a tugboat coming through. Wow, he wasn't kidding.
Jessica, where can we go from here? We still got a little bit of time left. Is there any topic you want in your bag of tricks?
My bag of tricks. I don't know. I was actually just thinking about a show that Brian closed out for me that I had in Taunton at the VFW. And like, I walked into the place and this was the place that like, they put together the show. Like I put together the comics, but like they did all the advertising. So I walk in, the place is packed. I was like, oh my God. So like Brian actually posted videos that has like, there were guys like walking behind him, like, cause everyone was like really hammered to the point where like some people had to be like carried out of the show. And like, there were people walking behind him during the set with like bottles of alcohol. And he was like, what is this? And like,
It's the
really
VFW.
yeah,
I mean,
it was a really fun. He was a perfect fit for that show because
Those are always the most fun shows. The VFW,
Yeah.
Elks Clubs. Those are the shows I love. I
yeah.
love them better than a lot of the shows,
One of those, like an American Legion show, was like
Yeah, American
in it.
Legion.
And oh my God, the people were drinking like it was the end of the world. I was like, holy shit! It was like this was before the world actually ended, like it did now.
Well,
Yeah.
I did
It's
a
a good
bachelor
time.
party.
Crazy.
I did a bachelor party once. I got there, and the groom was already in the hospital. He drank so much they had to take him to the hospital. The guys were all bombed. They were all bombed. They said, "Well, we still want you to go on." And I was with another comic. He said, "I'm not going on." I said, "I'll go on." And I went on and I had a great set. I busted everybody's balls. the groom's in the hospital. I don't know how he made out. I never heard, but hopefully he's all
You
right.
would think that at a party when the groom goes to the hospital, like everyone would just be like, okay, that's enough. Let's all
Party's
go.
over.
I know what.
Instead, it was like,
We
yeah,
wrapped it
he'll
up.
walk it off.
They saw him get on the rescue and they wished him well and they went back in and kept drinking.
Walk it off. I love it.
Yeah.
They wanted a party. They didn't care.
Yeah, Johnny, there was a
Nice.
show. There was a show. Me, you, and Bernie were all on. Remember Tyler Moore?
Yeah.
He booked us at like a bar. I forgot where it was. It was somewhere in Massachusetts, and it was like
Middle of nowhere. Yeah.
me, you, Bernie, Tyler. I think Katie Grady. Remember her? She I haven't seen her in a long time, but
Yeah. She's cool.
she was on. And nobody did well except for you. And I had the headline. So you went up and like the whole bar was just loud the whole time. And you went up and you're like, look at this guy, look at this girl over here, look at this guy, look at and you demolished for like a half an hour. And I was like, oh, I got to do 45 minutes after this guy. And you went through the whole room and like just crushed. And then like, oh, I got to go. And you go. And then Tyler brings me up and I start talking. And I talk. They paid attention for like 90 seconds. You bought me like a minute and a half, which I appreciate. But then they all just went back to their thing. But like this little corner of the room was into it. So I just was like, okay, well, it's just us. Like, this is the show now. And instead I did a show for like 18 people out of like 150. And they were there. They had a good time. But yeah, Johnny demolished.
I would give anything to go on stage right now and have a great set. I haven't been on
John,
stage in over 10 months. Believe me, I miss it. I miss it.
I had Johnny P a couple of times at the Carousel Grill, and here's one of my favorites. Matter of fact, the show poster is up right now. It comes up in my memory all the time. Place is packed. Now, the Carousel Grill was really nice because it had the lower bowl, and then it had the upper deck, then you had the riser with the bar, and it sat very well. So I had a great sound system, a PV sound system, nice soundboard, and I always rolled with 2 mics. Cordless for me, hardwire for the act. So Johnny P comes up to me right before he's getting ready to go on. He goes, bad boy, I want the cordless. I said, naturally. So I introduced him. I gave him the cordless. Now,
I don't remember this.
These people have never seen anything like this. The Carousel Grill had a very nice stage. It was because it was built for bands. So it had a nice stage. It's about maybe 3 feet up off the ground. Very, very nice. Johnny P gets into a man. He's like Cassius Clay. All of a sudden, he comes down off the stage into the lower bowl, table by table, makes his way up the deck to the riser, down the side, hitting all them, came right down by the bar, everybody by the bar. The place is absolutely hysterical.
I wish I had that on tape.
It was incredible. Just like you said, John O'Connor. He was like, look at this guy over here. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look, brother, you don't even know where you are. You're lost. This man, he's sick.
The good old days. The good old days. We miss him, Johnny.
Look at this, a hairdresser in
Bernie.
Oakland Beach. How'd you get lost? I mean, it was, I mean, the lines that he thinks of so quickly. What amazed me about
we
it
had
was,
we had a lot of fun, you know, all of us.
what amazed me about that was you're always spot on. You were hilarious. You were definitely on your A game that
Not
night.
every
but
time.
the reaction of the audience, because they never, I was there for 2 years, every month doing a show. They never saw any of the acts come down off the stage and join with them.
Well, that's why I got a problem now due to the virus. I don't want to do like this scattered shows, but I'm the guy that I always went in the audience, shook the guy's hand, talking to him, talking to someone. I bounced around the crowd. I can't do that now. I can't interact like I did. I really don't even want to do it right now until it gets better. I have really no desire to step on a stage with plexiglass and I can't interact with the people. That's what I did. That's my thing. So I don't want to even get on stage. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but
I'm not. I could have went up February 12th at Pastor Mike's book signing, The Ox and the Ass, at my church.
That was like, Johnny, you remember the one time I did see you struggle. All the times I ever saw you, that I saw you struggle was the time you got booked. It was you, me, and Mike Murray. We got booked for the at the connection there, and we got booked for the Association of the Blind. Remember that show?
Yeah, yeah.
So you get up at the end, you got to headline the show, and you get up at the end. Look at this guy. You can't really see him. But I'll tell you something. You people could see this guy looks like Harry Potter after the 30th. Wait, look at it. Wait, sorry, you can't look at that guy either.
I had a hard time.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a hard time. They couldn't. What are you gonna do? I mean, I tried doing my thing, but
Hey,
doesn't
you
work.
people could see this. It's
I
hilarious.
got none. I love blind people, but I love Stevie Wonder. I love Ray Charles, but I can't do a show for you guys. Not my act.
Those two.
Bernie remembers I tanked that night, huh?
I don't know if you tanked, but it was funny.
It was
I mean, it
funny.
was difficult. It was definitely difficult for everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you guys ever been booed off the stage, or do you ever recall like a very awkward ending to a show?
Awkward.
I've never been booed, but this one show comes to mind. John had booked me at the chicken farm, and he's telling me they want you, bad boy. They want your energy. I'm like, they don't want me. That's a bingo hall. They don't want me. That's not my people. So I make this agreement with him. Okay, let's seat them demographically by age, young up front, old to the back. Yeah, bad boy. Yeah. So I get there, and it looked like a bingo hall, and I got to do 45 minutes. That felt like 4 months. I was up there forever. Ever. I tell that story all the time.
Rough night, man.
Rough night, man. I was like taking shots inside my head. I'm yelling, man down.
I did. I wish Stephanie Peters was on there. I did a gig once in the middle of nowhere, somewhere in Foster or somewhere. It was this bar, and it was Stephanie Peters, me. I had 2 or 3 other comics. There were 4 or 5 of us, and I don't know, one act went up. I went up, and I don't know, somebody was playing ping pong. They had crazy stuff going on. It was a bar. So I busted the girl. You know, I didn't get, I don't even know what I said. I said something to the girl, and she got offended, and everybody was like mad. And it was like, and so I said, we're stopping the show right now. It got really out of hand. I told the guy, look, you booked it. You booked it for a budget. I got to pay these comics. I said, you're paying me the money. And the guy paid me. We only did like 20 minutes of the show. He paid me, and we all walked out. Stephanie will tell you the story. I forget the whole story, but Stephanie said, you're nuts. I told the guy, we're not leaving here until you pay me the budget. I said, you promised the budget. It's not my fault that your audience is out of control. And he paid us.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Johnny, you booked me.
I'm not a tough guy or nothing, but when if I can get crazy, people look at me, this guy is crazy. They'll pay me. They'll pay me. What do you got, Johnny?
Johnny, one night, I don't want to say where or when, you booked me to headline a show. In the lineup, I don't want to say who else was on the show. Actually, it doesn't matter, but the kid you had hosting was like brand new.
Yeah.
So, of course, he had like no idea how to host a show, like how to do comedy. He was just brand new, you know, like that's what hosting is most of the time.
Yeah.
So he had no clue. And then you had some other acts on the show, one of whom was Steve DiNuccio. And the show was set up in a room where like there was like a bar between the bar and the restaurant, and it was like a double bar. Like there was the bar you sit at where they're serving drinks. And then right behind that bar was another bar that was like overlooking the room with the stage in the corner.
Yeah.
So you could like sit at the bar, or you could turn around 180 degrees and sit at this other bar and watch the band play or do whatever. And then beyond that second bar was like all these seats and tables and stuff. And you had me at the show, and excuse me one sec. And I got there, and they start the show, and the kid who goes up to host, like, I actually talked to him about it later, but like he had no idea what he was doing. And he's like reading poetry like out of a notebook. And there were like 30 or 40 people there, like in the restaurant part to watch the show. And there were like 16 bikers at the bar who hated that this was happening.
Oh no.
So like this kid, they just let it happen. And then the next comedian went up, who's like actually very funny. And they had him going for like a few minutes, but then the people at the bar were like, shut the F up and blah, blah, blah.
Oh
So
no.
that comedian was like, all right, I don't need this. I'm out of here. and he gives the kid the mic back. He brings up Steve DiNuccio.
Oh boy.
Who Steve brings a lot of punch to a show. Steve brings a lot of energy to the show. And the thing is, it's not like anybody was doing bad. It was that the venue didn't care. The venue was just letting it happen. So there was no way you could have a show because the whole audience was uncomfortable the whole time because these bikers were like borderline violent. So no one could like relax because they're all waiting for something to happen.
Maybe they were the Proud Boys.
I don't know who it was, but when they were up, Steve DiNuccio.
He went there.
Well, that's just one thing. I'm not saying who they, whatever. Okay, Johnny.
DiNuccio was up there and he's doing his act, and hats off to him because he was acting like this was not happening. But he's up there doing his act, and there was a guy at the bar, literally. The guy has not turned around, but like DiNuccio's over his shoulder, and he's just like, "You're not funny. You're not funny. You're not funny. Shut the F up. You're not funny." And Steve is just like, "And folks, well, I'm at Disney World," and he's just plowing through like he is not even paying this guy any mind. And then there came a part where like, now the guys are mad. So now they're turned around and they're facing him. Oh, and Steve has this part in his act where he's like doing a Little Mermaid song.
Yeah.
And he puts on these little red pinchers like Sebastian and the Little Mermaid, the little drag guy.
Yeah.
And there comes a moment where he's singing a song, and I forget the song, but he's literally like walking like within like 3 feet of these guys, and he's pinching his red hand like this, and he's going sha-la-la-la-la-la-bio to all these bikers. And I was like, this dude's gonna die. He's gonna die. But then luckily he like finished his set and like was done, and they finished, and I was next. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be. But while the kid was up there thanking Steve and introducing me, like, I don't know how many there were, 12, 16 of them, everybody except one couple got up and left. So then
oh my God,
the crowd that was there to watch the show could actually watch, and it wasn't half bad.
So the bikers all got up and left.
They all got up and left except for 2 people who, while I was doing my set, were cheering loudly for NASCAR. But other than that, it was fun. But the venue did nothing. They did nothing to try to stop it. And then while I was up there, mid-set, one of the women that worked there just came up and like put a bucket like in my face, like while I'm on stage, and was like, "You need to do the raffle." It was like, "Oh, pardon me. Didn't mean to interrupt your raffle."
Somebody shows
at the comedy show.
Some of these shows are wacky, Johnny. You're gonna have to tell me, did I ever book that room again, or was that a one-time thing?
Not with me. And if you had ever booked me, I would have been like, "Johnny, I can't do this one."
I gotta ask you after we get off. You gotta hang on. I gotta find out where that was.
I'll tell you.
So Steve DiNuccio ran him off.
Steve DiNuccio with the Little Mermaids. Do you understand how funny it is? Steve DiNuccio in a sport coat and his dad hat singing Little Mermaid, like clicking fake crab claws in these dudes' faces. And they were like telling him to shut the F up for like 20 minutes. And he's like, lullaby, oh, bye. He didn't give a damn. It was the funniest thing. It was so great.
And on that note, we are at an hour now, Mike. So the show is over.
Stevie.
Well, I'll tell you, man, I never like to wrap up, but John O'Connor, you can't top that.
Can't top that
No.
story.
Can't top that, man.
So we gotta go to John. That was
I
a great
almost peed
story.
my pants when he says, "I'm at Disneyland." He plows right through.
Yeah.
Johnny,
He did
what do you
not
gotta
care.
say to wrap it up? You just did that whole bit. That was awesome, man. What do you gotta say?
That was all real. So, thanks for having me. COVID is real. I've had it for like almost a month now. So be careful out there. Try not to get it. It's no fun. And because I've been sick, I haven't been able to like really do my podcast the way I would normally do it. So today I released an episode which has no editing. It's literally my music, me and then my music. And it's me talking for like 50 straight minutes about which Ninja Turtle I think is the worst, all the way up to which Ninja Turtle I think is the best. Please download that. Spectacular show. I need the downloads.
The Spectacular Show with Johnny O'Connor. You gotta check it out. Johnny, thanks for coming on. You'll be on again soon. Your sister Katie, what are you gonna say to wrap it up, Katie? This has been crazy as usual.
I know, but it's always fun. I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, we have a good. You're always going to be on, you and all you guys. You know that. What are you going to say to
so
wrap it up?
fun.
Please?
Just Happy New Year, and I hope everyone stays healthy and safe. And I just got over COVID, but I still have symptoms. I lost my taste and smell for about 17 days. I mean, I know that's the least of my concerns, but
Wow.
you know, it's
Yeah.
real. It's definitely a real thing. And I just hope everybody's being cautious and taking
Yeah,
care of
definitely.
themselves, you know.
Well, I'm glad you and Johnny, you know, on the mend, you're starting, you know, got get better, and you know, sorry you guys had to go through that, you know.
It helps if you have beers and tea. Beers and tea.
What?
Hey, beer and tea, Johnny said.
Oh,
Beer and
you're-
tea.
I haven't, Jay. All right, wait, can I end on this? This is pretty
Yes.
powerful for me. I have not had alcohol. It'll be a month on Monday.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's like
That's awesome.
that's like the first time since you were 9.
Jay.
Next month, my birthday's on the 21st. On the 27th of February, believe it or not, is 4 years since I had a drink. 4 years.
Good for you.
Wow.
And I just, because I get out of control. I wind up in headlocks outside of clubs. I wind up on corners, beat up. I mean, I can't drink socially, so I don't drink. Johnny knows this. He seen me in action back in the day.
You were in a good mood. That was the problem.
I was a good.
You were in too good of a mood.
I was.
You were like, Johnny, I got to live my life. Let's have a good time, man. Captain Morgan and Diet Coke.
Captain, I would
Those
drink
were the
10
days.
to
Those-
15 Captain Morgans.
Those
Katie.
Legion pub days, man.
If you hung with me, 10 to 15 mixed drinks each
Oh
Yeah.
my God. I
Yeah.
would
During one show.
destroyed.
during one
During
show.
what?
During
A
one
show?
show, I drink 10 mixed drinks in one
To be
show.
fair, Johnny shows are like 4 hours, but that's still a lot.
I'm gonna see you on the corner, you son of a bitch. Bernie Perrotta, go remind me of my 4 hours show. I had a lot of 2 hours shows too. Bernie, what are you gonna say to wrap it up in the basement in Somerset?
Yeah, hey, thanks for having me on the show again. And yeah, I hope everybody had a good holiday and stays healthy and safe.
You're the man, Bernie. We'll
That's
see you. I'm gonna book
Good
next time
time.
I book you, it's gonna be 103 degrees in Somerset. Next time I book
Nice.
you.
I don't know. I died a slow death on that one, man. I was standing there with people's backyard trying to do
Yeah,
my
that
jokes.
That wasn't an easy
A
gig.
bunch of
That
people
wasn't-
staring at me from the pool and stuff like that. Just what is
Yeah,
this
that
guy
was-
doing?
That was a tough gig, man. I don't know. Thanks for coming on,
Tough
Bernie.
one.
Mike Cronin, what are you gonna say to wrap it up?
I am humbled and honored to be on this show tonight.
Say
This
it
was-
every time. Come up with
Yeah,
a
but you
different
know what?
twist.
Every time it is. I
You're
was
always
looking for-
humbled. You're always on. How can it be?
Yeah.
There's gonna be one night where you could say, you know what? I'm not really on it to be on this episode.
Boy, I can't believe I wasted an hour on this tonight. Good grief. Can't anybody think of something to say?
You cannot possibly be humble and honored on it. We've done 90 episodes, and you've been on about 50 of them, and you're humbled and honored every time.
I am. I look forward to this. This was a great show tonight. I got to tell you, this might be the panel of the year, and it's only like we're only like 3 weeks in. This is going to be hard to beat. This is going to be hard to beat. This was so much fun. Thanks for having me on. John O'Connor, I pray healing and health over you in the name of Jesus. Katie, I pray that those lingering effects go away. Jessica and Bernie, great to see you. I pray a hedge of protection around you and your families also. We're going to get through this, boys and girls. Lean into God, and God will lean right back into us. God bless you all.
Thank you, Mike.
Unless-
Thank you.
Thank you,
And
Mike.
we are humbled and honored also to have you on the show.
Are you really?
yes.
I got to see Mike for lunch tomorrow. Then we'll talk about some of our stories. Jessica, you get the last word, the weekly check-in. You created the show because you came up with the idea for the weekly check-in because you're a therapist, and we've been doing it since May, and it's been a lot of fun. And what are you going to say to wrap it up? You've had a crazy week, so we had some fun tonight. What do you got on your mind now, Jess?
I love this panel. I think everybody on this panel is awesome, and I'm now craving a bubbly and a matcha tea. Bubbly's my favorite. Like, I love bubbly. I'm upset I can't find the orange bubbly in any of the stores.
Where is it? Did they get rid of it?
It went missing. I can't
Yeah.
find it in any store. I don't know if somebody finds the orange bubbly. Please let me know. I'm looking everywhere.
I
aunt's
got you,
looking
girl.
everywhere. I have other family looking everywhere. Nobody can find the orange bubbly. But the matcha tea thing and adding the, did you say raw maple syrup? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I do. Half a teaspoon of the matcha. It's farm to table matcha. I'll send you the link for it, and then a cup of oat milk and maple syrup.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I got a matcha latte earlier over the weekend. Actually, it was an iced one, and I really liked it. And
So good.
And now I'm gonna add the maple syrup. I haven't done that yet, so that sounds really good. And then the same thing. I hope you guys really feel better, because that's not cool at all.
Definitely.
You guys
Thank
don't.
you. Oh wait, who do you
Thank
guys have in
you
the
so
Super Bowl?
much.
And
Wait, what?
Sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to ask before you go and wrap it up. Who does everybody have in the Super Bowl?
I got to go with Brady. I've been going with him the whole time he's played.
Sorry.
I still love the Patriots, but I want to go with Tampa Bay and Brady.
Tampa Bay and Brady.
That's what I'm hoping. That's what I hope. I'd love to see him get another title.
Yeah, me too.
I'd see that.
Me
That'd be
too.
entertaining.
Jess, I'm sorry I just butted it and did that. I apologize.
Oh no, that was
You ruined everything.
No, that's rude though. It's
it's
her turn. I
perfect
feel like a
fun.
jerk now.
To transition to self-care for those who do not watch football. You can have a nice self-care night, and you can do a nice face mask, and you can watch something else.
You don't watch football, Jess?
No, I don't watch
Well,
any
maybe a
sports.
couple of us will come over and we'll watch The Shining again.
I actually went to like my first Super Bowl party like a few years ago. That was really fun, because there was drinks that were making their way over to me, and like steak and cheese egg rolls that were making their way. I didn't even have to go and get them; they were coming to me. So I was totally okay with a Super Bowl party, which I wish could happen this year, but that can't happen this year, which is unfortunate. But
Things will get back to normal. But
mhm.
this is the show. We got to wrap it up. I want to thank all you guys and girls for coming
Thank
out.
you.
We had a lot of
Thanks,
fun.
John.
We even went over tonight. This was an hour and 10-minute show. We went
We
over.
always go over.
Not this much, Katie.
That's stuffed with goodness, baby.
We got a good,
That's
great,
it, man.
great panel of guests. So we talk and things happen. We got in all kind of stuff. I had a ball, and wish you guys well. Get well soon, Katie and John, and
Thank you.
Bernie. I'll
Thank
see you soon. Mike, I'll see you for lunch tomorrow.
Yeah.
Jess, we'll get him in therapy next week on Zoom. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the weekly check-in. We'll see you next Thursday. Every Thursday, the weekly check-in. You guys will all be back on soon. I'll see you guys soon.
God bless everybody.
Yeah.